How's it going, everybody? Chase here. Today, I'll be reviewing my Egyptian God Exodia deck. Now, this deck is actually pretty good for what it is. You can't really use some of the cards that are in this deck in a competitive situation or tournament. However, in casual play, this thing has no equal. I'm serious, this thing has destroyed my Blue Eyes deck like 3 times. We're going to go ahead and get into it. Starting off, we have Slifer the Sky Dragon, one of the Egyptian god cards. Obelisk the Tormentor, the Winged Dragon of Ra, the legendary Exodia Incarnate, Exodia the Forbidden One, left arm of the Forbidden One, right arm of the Forbidden One, right leg of the Forbidden One, left leg of the Forbidden One. One copy of Reactor Slime, one copy of Scapegoat, one copy of Exodia Necros, one copy of Angel 01, and one copy of Tellus the Little Angel. 3 copies of Ra's Disciple, King's Knight, Queen's Knight, and Jack's Knight. 3 copies of Nimble Mamanga, 1 copy of Pot of Greed, 2 copies of Shard of Greed, 2 copies of Pot of Duality, 2 copies of Soul Crossing, 1 copy of Thunder Force Attack, 1 copy of Fist of Fate, 1 copy of Supply Squad, 1 copy of Different Dimension Capsule, 1 copy of Contract with Exodia, 1 copy of Monster Reborn, 1 copy of Card Trader, 1 copy of Ultimate Divine Beast, 1 copy of Metal Reflect Slime, and 1 copy of Obliterate. Now, I run 5 tokens. There's the Kaiba token, the Kuribo token, Yugi token, Joey token, and the Spirit Charmer token. Now, I'm going to actually run through the strategies real quick, because this deck doesn't really focus on Exodia. Exodia is more of a background strategy. It happens while you're playing, such as what the heck, I'll just show it off. It's actually pretty good for what it is. I mean, I'm able to get Slifer out in about 2 turns, or Obelisk. Ra isn't exactly playable in this deck. I mean, he is playable, but only if you get him out early. If you don't get him out early enough, you're pretty much screwed. Alright, opening hand. Alright, so far so good. I would activate Pot of Duality. This would let me look at the top 3 cards of my deck. I'm going to add Obelisk the Tormentor. Take the other 2, shuffle them on my deck. Pot of Duality goes to the graveyard. Summon out Ra's Disciple in attack mode. Its effect would activate, which lets me special summon 2 more. I'm going to put 2 of them in defense mode. Alright. And then place 1 card face down, which is Soul Crossing. And end my turn. My opponent would do their thing. Chances are they would attack one of these guys, send it to the graveyard. They would end their turn back to me. I draw. I would activate Pot of Greed. This would let me draw 2 cards. Alright, Nimble Mamanga and Reactor Slime. I would summon Reactor Slime in attack mode. Its effect would activate. Sends Pot of Greed to the graveyard since I just used it. Its effect is that I can special summon 2 tokens. So I would set 2 tokens. One of them's over here, you can't really see it. And I would actually, in this situation, go ahead and activate my face down card, Soul Crossing. I would tribute 2 of them, or one of the monsters that I have, and probably one of the, or no, I would tribute 2 of my monsters. I would tribute 2 of my tokens to special summon Obelisk the Tormentor after attributing one of my opponent's monsters. And after that, I would end my turn. My opponent would do their thing. I would draw. Chances are, last turn they had destroyed one of my disciples. In this situation, I would set this guy face down. I would activate Obelisk the Tormentor's effect by attributing 2 cards. Or no, I don't even need to do that yet. Never mind. I would have Obelisk attack. Chances are they don't have anything that can fight back. And I would end my turn with that. I would draw. I have 2 of the Forbidden One cards in my hand. And end my turn. Draw. I would set Ultimate Divine Beast face down in turn. Draw. Now I have 3 of the Exodia cards in turn. After having an Obelisk attack, I would draw. Another Nimble Mamanga. I have 6 cards in my hand. I'm going to go ahead and summon in attack mode King's Knight. And end my turn. Back to me. Draw, activate Shard of Greed. I forgot to send this to the graveyard, but Soul Crossing. And end my turn with that. Draw. Shard of Greed gets one counter on it since I drew 1 card. I would end my turn. After having Obelisk attack, draw. Place this face down. Shard of Greed's effect activates. I think it would activate. Yeah. Which lets me draw 2 new cards. But I gotta discard 2 cards. So discard Contract and Jack's Knight. And I would end my turn with that. Draw. End turn. My opponent would do their thing. Draw. Tribute summon. By tributing Jack's Knight. Or not Jack's Knight. King's Knight. Ra's Disciple. And Reactor Slime. I would special summon the Winged Dragon of Ra in attack mode. And place 1 card face down in defense mode, which is my Scapegoat. End turn. Draw. Activate Different Dimension Capsule. I would banish, in this situation, Slifer the Sky Dragon. I completely forgot to put Slifer in the deck. I messed up. He was mixed in with my tokens over here. But banish Slifer face down. And at the end of my next turn, if I'm able to keep this spell card on the field, I can add him to my hand. I need to activate the Winged Dragon of Ra's effect by paying all of my life points except for 100. He now has 7,900 attack points. Obelisk the Tormentor has 4,000. And I would pretty much end my turn with that after making them attack. Draw. Soul Crossing, I would place that face down. Since I was able to keep him on the field, I mean the different dimension capsule on the field, I can add Slifer the Sky Dragon to my hand. I would tribute Scapegoat, this card, and Obelisk the Tormentor to the graveyard to tribute summon Slifer the Sky Dragon. I would then activate my face down card right here. Wrong card. Monster Reborn. To bring back Obelisk the Tormentor. And now I have all three of the Egyptian God cards on the field. I would go ahead and activate my trap card, Ultimate Divine Beast. Or wait, no. But basically, I would have all three of them attack, and that's pretty much game right there. But if not, the duel would continue. Draw. Activate, or place this face down. Activate, set Nimble Mamanga in defense mode. I need to set that face down again. End turn, draw, activate Fist of what I forgot. Obelisk goes back to the graveyard since I special summoned it. End turn, or no, I would summon the right leg of the Forbidden One in attack mode, or defense mode, I mean, and end my turn with that. Draw. Activate Thunder Force attack. Slifer gains another 1,000. I would flip up right leg of the Forbidden One. Or left leg of the Forbidden One, I mean. Send that to the graveyard to tribute summon the legendary Exodia Incarnate. Exodia's effect is gains 1,000 for each Forbidden One monster in your graveyard. I would end my turn after that. I would draw. Place one card face down. End turn. Draw. Activate the effect of Card Trader by sending Nimble Mamanga back to the deck. I can add one card from my hand. From my deck to my hand. And end turn with that. Draw. Activate Card Trader's effect. Send Angel 01 to the back to my deck. Add Exodia the Forbidden One. This is more of a rogue strategy, but it works at times. It's much more slower paced, but it works. I've got 4 of the Forbidden One cards in my hand. And I would attack with my monsters. Draw. Activate the face down card. Or no. Activate the continuous trap. Obliterate. And that's pretty much going to do it for my turn. I would attack with my monsters. And turn, draw. That's pretty much what I can do with this deck. I mean, I've got 3 powerful monsters. Slifer's got 1,000. I mean, no, he doesn't have 1,000. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7,000 attack points. Raw's got 79,000, and Exodia has 1,000. So, I mean, it works. I mean, I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards left of my deck. So yeah, it dragged out for a while, but depending on the situation, it can work. It's more of a fodder deck. It's not my favorite, but it is definitely fun to mess around with if you do have some of these cards. The reason why I did this was because I bought the Legendary decks too last year, and I was not a big fan of what they called Yugioh's Exodia Egyptian God deck, because that thing wasn't really playable. It was more of fodder. It was basically just trying its hardest to make the anime real, but it didn't work. So I took it upon myself to try and create something a bit more realistic. And basically, the Egyptian God cards aren't exactly the most competitive. I'm well aware of that. However, these cards are very iconic. And they are very popular. And a lot of people want to play the Egyptian God cards, and those structure decks that came out earlier this year weren't exactly what I would call Egyptian God card decks. They mostly were fodder, aside from Soul Crossing and Fist of Fate and Divine Evolution and stuff like that. But to me, this is more akin to a Egyptian God deck than the other one is, because it's focusing on basically 4 of the most powerful monsters in all of Duel Monsters, which is Exodia, Slifer, Obelisk, and Ra. But I hope you enjoyed this video. It was more of a ramble video than anything, because I don't really have anything to do today, so I was just trying to throw stuff in. And I've been wanting to do a review of this deck. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you didn't, please leave a dislike. Consider subscribing. I post almost daily. And I review things such as diecast, to trading cards, to action figures, to pretty much anything. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one.